Can you press? All right. Jen, we're gonna press your button. It's okay.
Okay. Jen, we're good. You're both good. Okay. So welcome today. I know that we decided to meet together as a group to talk a little bit about the stress of getting your master's degree here at Bay Path. So why don't we start by, if we could just go around the room and introduce ourselves and a little bit about where you sort of are in your academic journey. How about if we start there?
Okay, so I'm Jennifer, and I am right in the practicum, and going to be starting the internship in September, so in a month.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, my name is Justine. I am also doing the practicum course and hoping to start my internship in January.
Okay.
I'm Christine. We're all in the same practicum class, so we're all looking to start internships. However, I can't start mine until January either, which is causing me some super stress because there's a lot to figure out with having a baby in the meantime.
Okay. So does anyone have any specific goals that they'd like to go through for today's session, or why don't we start by, if you could tell me what you'd like to get out of today?
Maybe coping better with everything.
Okay.
Just working on, like if it's so overwhelming, how to just manage everything a little bit better.
Okay, so coping with everything.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I agree. I mean, I think what I need to do is organize and kind of categorize things and figure out what I need to do first, and also let things happen as they're going to, because it's sometimes really hard to get answers about things that
Okay.
I feel like I need the answer to right now, just for planning purposes. I'm not really good at going with the flow.
Okay.
So that's a goal, maybe to be a little bit more flexible.
Okay. And Justine, do you have anything that you want to add that you're
I guess
looking to
I'm
get?
on the same page as both these ladies,
Okay.
just trying to be flexible, managing everything, and overall just not trying to go crazy.
Okay. So I want to start with the question, like, what's causing the stress? Like, is there like a specific goal or something that has to get done by a certain time that's making you all anxious?
I think it's the deadlines. There's deadlines for everything, but this is also factoring in our lives. You know, a lot of us work full time, we have children, you know, so it's like just trying to juggle everything, but all the while meeting those deadlines, you know?
Okay. And so let's talk for a minute about the deadlines. Were there deadlines that you just seem like they're too aggressive? Are they deadlines that can change? Is it what? I guess I'm going to even ask, what happens if you didn't meet the deadline? What would happen?
We could be in jeopardy of failing the class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could push your progress back. So for people that are looking to start their internship in September, if you don't meet all your requirements, then you can't start in September.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're looking to graduate May of 2019, you know, that's another thing, not having everything complete and ready for that time frame. So, yeah.
True. I agree.
Okay. So is that fair to say to everyone that it's an absolute that you have to graduate in May of 2019?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
have to get out of my current job. I
Okay.
cannot.
And
Me too.
so not having the degree would prevent you from being able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd basically be able to like work at a daycare and make $10 an hour, which
Okay.
you know, so financially, yes, I have to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is everyone else in that same,
Yeah,
that's
because
a
I've been
have
in the
to?
program like or it'll be over 3 years in this
Okay.
program since
Right.
2016. February 2016 I started. So,
Okay.
And also just looking like for those of us that are getting financial aid, like
yeah, not
they're
too-
not gonna, there's but so much they'll cover for you, and
Yep.
you know, then you're having to start like repaying your loans or whatever the case is, but you know,
Okay.
just trying to meet the guidelines
Okay.
for that as well.
Okay, so it's an absolute then.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's an unmovable object. So I mean, the good thing, or however, is that you're all in that same situation. So you all have the same goal, which doesn't always happen in a group therapy situation. So you all have to feel, you know, it's an absolute that you have to graduate in May of 2019.
Yeah.
So Jen, you mentioned that that you're having trouble coping with everything. So everything is a big word. So
Okay.
why don't we kind of maybe that's a good place to start. What does everything look like?
Okay. So everything for, okay, so the biggest thing is, so I had my first child in February. So I actually started a family in this graduate school program. And I think just, finding baby care, affording baby care, being back at work, starting an internship in the practicum, just generally feeling stressed and overwhelmed from everything combined. But I have to finish, and it's like requirements, and it's, I started something, I'm gonna finish it. I've explored every other avenue of ways to do other things, and this is what I came up with. I'm still here, I'm still doing everything, but in the process, I didn't think this was gonna be easy, and none of it has been easy. It's just been really hard. But I'm still here, and it's just like just managing it all better, or like feeling better about daily everything, like just how do I cope with every day just managing everything, and just think of everything else like that I'm not mentioning. It's a lot, right?
Yeah, I agree.
What do you guys think of what Jen had to say?
I mean, I can't speak for Justine, but for both of us, we're expecting, so I think we're gonna be kind of feeling maybe the same types of stressors that Jen is feeling right now. She's just a little bit further down the road than we are. I know finding childcare and figuring out how I'm ever going to do an internship plus work. It's going to have to be part-time. I'm going to lose my health benefits, so I'm going to maintain health benefits in some fashion while meeting all the requirements for the graduate program it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm paying extra right now in my job, like to have part-time benefits, and it's a lot for a family plan. It's a lot of money, and I barely make enough money as it is, let alone having to pay for all the health care and whatnot. But so it's a lot of stress because I have to make my certain quotas every week, and I have to be there.
And I already paid almost $900 a month for healthcare for 2 people. Never mind adding a baby.
Whoa! I thought mine was expensive. Yours is even
awful. Wow. So how can I realistically work part-time, do an internship, carry healthcare, and like maintain a mortgage and a life and a car payment?
And that's even more than and I'm looking into first-time home buyers myself, and I'm trying to do everything. Oh, oops. Okay.
Ignore it and then.
Yep.
Okay.
Does it? You gotta
Oh no, I have to do it.
hit record
Okay.
again. Okay.
Yep.
So, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a real lot. So out of all those kind of external things, what's the biggest stressor from that? Is it the healthcare piece?
For me, it's always the healthcare piece because my husband doesn't have healthcare through his job. I'm the primary, sole, responsible. I'm the only one that has the option to even have healthcare.
Okay. For me, I actually, it's a big deal. I mean, the healthcare is a big deal, and just, I have to work I don't get any days off, or if I take off time, it's actually on, like for today, for example, I had to take a personal day. Guess who's paying for that? That's coming out of my personal time today. So today's coming out of my personal time or my sick time, or I don't have much of that because I was on maternity leave and I couldn't accrue it every week. So basically I'm, using my time today, and so that means I have to be there extra next week, and this is all stressful, but healthcare and.
So, okay. So, Justine, are you in a similar situation, or?
I mean, I can agree with a little bit of everything they're both saying.
Okay.
Just because I am expecting as well, and after the fact, without employment, you don't have health insurance. I could get on my husband's work insurance, but the family plans are just ridiculous when it comes to like pricing and what have you. So I mean, that's a little stressful for me, but also just thinking about like what I'm gonna do for employment. I mean, we have funds saved up, but I'm just thinking like, once we get through that, it's like now, me getting back out there to get a job and, juggling the job plus the internship, and how I'm gonna do that, because I only have 6 months to get 600 hours for the internship.
Me too. I have less. Well, you're starting January.
Yeah.
Me too. So
You're both in it. So you both.
If I did 25 hours a week, that would I think the end of June that would get me to $600.
Okay.
So how can you realistically have a newborn, work full-time plus part-time while doing, it's crazy.
It is, yeah.
So
That's how I
I'm
feel
just
right
gonna
now.
ask again, but you absolutely have to graduate in May of
I'm
2019.
not
right?
waiting another year.
Yeah,
No
me neither.
way.
I mean,
But,
I have
I mean,
nothing to
like-
wait in between. I have no other classes, no nothing.
But what I'm
That's it.
saying is, you'd be finished, you just wouldn't be walking, you'd be done.
Then I wouldn't be able to leave my job, and that can't happen.
And I
Okay.
need to, I'm raising a child right now and it's really expensive. So I need my new job with a new position that pays more because I don't make enough right now. I qualify for all state benefits for me personally, so. And then the state
Okay.
benefits, by the way, don't pay for anything.
So do you live in Massachusetts?
I do.
So then, do you get?
And with my
you-
job, I still qualify.
But so are you under Mass Health then?
No, I pay for insurance with my work for a family plan. And as far as Mass Health, I do actually have it. For example, they'll pick up the copay. So that, like, for example, it's $15 for a copay, and right now I don't have to pay. If it's a Mass Health
Right.
doctor, I don't have to pay for the baby. I don't have to pay the copay. Or for myself, if it's a Mass Health doctor, they'll pick it up.
But you have to still have private insurance on top of that?
Do you qualify for Mass Health
That's-
without?
Well, I think, I don't know.
Well, so like, your insurance, it's either Mass Health or?
I've always had insurance before, like through my work.
Right.
Like, so I have to have insurance. And then when the baby came along, I did have just the insurance for her, that was Mass Health. And then after that, they, if you have a work one that offers you, I think you have to take it. I think, I mean, plus, I didn't get it until maybe, like, she was 2 or 3 months. So, like, you mean to help with costs or something?
So that, I guess that's what I'm saying, I would encourage you to look into Mass Health.
They
if you
do
meet
something,
all-
but you had to, like, meet a deadline, and I didn't know about. I don't know what they do. They do, like, they help you with something, but I
Well,
didn't
it's
know
pretty
about,
much like free healthcare, so,
Not for me though. For me, I don't qualify. For you, the baby, you mean?
Yeah, if you
for
work,
both of you,
They pick
if
up the
it's an
copay.
income piece.
Well, they pick up the copay. I mean, I don't know about.
that's
everything
probably
else.
all you qualify for.
Yeah, I think that's all
probably
it-
what it is,
yeah, I
because
think-
you do have a job, so
Yeah.
you're gonna get benefits, but they're gonna be limited.
Well, that's
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. So I
So-
do get limited benefits.
Okay, so that's helping, so even if you stay there or not work there,
Yep.
the Mass Health thing doesn't go with your job, it goes with
Then
you
I would
as a
then I
person.
would qualify for Mass Health. I think 110% if I didn't have a job. Right.
Right,
Of course you would, because
Right.
there's a mandate in
Yeah,
Massachusetts.
yep, I would
Right.
definitely qualify, but then again, I wouldn't be able, if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't be able to do
no,
the
but what I'm saying is
internship.
your health's situation is such that
Oh, yes,
it
'cause I
goes
don't
with you
have-
as a person,
Correct,
not-
I don't have a
so if-
husband that's, yes.
No,
is that what you
meaning
mean?
like if you decide to switch companies, you don't have to worry about your healthcare because it's under Massachusetts. It's under you as a person.
Well, it
not-
depends how much you make, like next year, I think when I, get a better job, I don't think I would qualify, right?
I think,
Depends on your income.
right.
Yeah, it depends on
It
the,
could just, maybe you would,
or
but
maybe a
again, it
lower.
would just, right, exactly.
So
Yeah,
you may
so-
want to, look into that,
Okay.
just like, I think there's a lot of stuff on their
But not
website and
much
stuff.
though, not much, because I looked into, like there's certain things that I could apply for, and I didn't actually apply because it said that I was disqualified. Like because like you have to look at the poverty rate in Massachusetts.
Right.
And I'm not like at the lowest low of where, for example, there's things like the food, food stamps,
Right.
and then the cash assistance. Like I wouldn't qualify for cash assistance. I qualify for like $5 from food benefits, like $5. I mean,
No, but
you
what
know.
I'm saying is, so especially, because it sounds like all of you are in the position where what I'm hearing is I'm getting my degree and then I want to get a different job, whether even if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
with the same
Yeah, 'cause I
organization.
don't make
but
enough money.
you want to educate yourself because if you get a job that pays more and then you're using it all to pay for
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what
your
you're saying.
medical
Mhm.
care,
Yeah.
you may end up saying to the employer, like, I only want to work like 32 hours. Like, so you want to find out what the income levels are.
So for me,
so
I'm
that-
still gonna do
right.
that. Like for me,
Right.
because my boss told me she worked only 24
Right.
hours, and she got like childcare. and
Right,
different
so
things like
that's
that.
what
So
I
I'm
would
gonna do
really
that
look
too.
into that,
Yeah.
so that you have time with your baby and
Yeah,
you
I'm
may
actually
find
gonna
working
work, like,
full-time works
part-time.
against you.
Mhm.
So,
But I already work part-time anyway. Right now, with the internship, I'm gonna be working full-time plus. So I'm
Right,
not
but-
looking forward to that.
But what I'm
But,
saying is,
yeah.
look into, so you know where that cutoff is.
Okay.
So,
How do you do all that? Do you know?
do you guys have any suggestions how
Yeah,
to
do
do
you have any,
that?
How
like,
you do what?
So how would I
Look
look
into
into, like,
Mass
cause I
Health
tried
and
to,
stuff.
like, or who, like, as a resource, do you know anyone that I could call, like,
For
about?
Mass Health?
For, no, the, like, childcare, cause it's right, there is, like, limits, like, if you go, like, an hour over, or, like,
Right.
2 hours or something, then, you have to pay out of your
That might be
pocket, and it's actually more, and it's just a
Right.
little bit, like, it's more that I have to, it's more that,
Well, do they have a website like that has a number that
I
you
feel
can
like they
call?
should, yeah.
I mean,
They
do they?
They do.
I'll give it to you.
Well, I call,
Yeah.
is it 211?
I don't know what the number is, but I'm gonna give
Okay,
you.
there's something that you can call from your cell phone, 211, but,
So, child care resources.
yeah, child care resources, that would be excellent. Do you guys know what you're doing for, like, who's gonna help you with, do you have, like, family, or?
I think I have someone, but it's not 100% certain. But
Okay.
if that falls through, I'm gonna have to look into some sort of like home center or something.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't have any family on either side that is able to watch her during the day.
And it's a girl?
It's a girl.
That's
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
So have you
Congratulations.
picked out
Thank you.
names and things, or?
We have, but we're not sharing.
You're not sharing, but did you
Mhm.
share with people that it was a girl?
Yes.
So I want to segue because I hear all about these gender reveal parties. Did you do one of those?
Mhm.
So how, just so we can have a moment of joy, what was?
Breathe.
So would you mind sharing? I
No,
just
that's
think
okay.
that's the coolest thing.
It was fun. It was small.
Yeah.
It was immediate family.
Yeah,
And we just did 3 like necklaces. So wear pink, blue, or purple. What you thought it was. Purple was undecided.
Yeah.
So like a couple people wore purple. 95% probably said blue.
yeah,
But it was
Yeah.
pink.
Aw.
And then we just we did easy stuff. We did it on Cinco de Mayo. So we had tacos
yeah,
and like nachos and stuff. And then it was at my sister-in-law's house, and we cut a cake. So she had her friend do the cake
with them
so that her friend knew.
was the only one that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was, we cut the cake and found out the gender. It was fun.
Do you know, Justine, do you want to share anything
Yeah, I
about
don't
your
mind.
baby?
I'm having a boy. We didn't do a gender reveal, but I mean, we didn't do like a gathering, but we more so did like a picture. So
Fun.
once we found out, we sent we sent one picture, which was just like my husband holding my stomach, but his hands was like in the shape of a heart.
Aw.
And
Oh.
then we were telling people, oh, guess
Yeah.
what do you think it is? And then the second picture was like his hands open, but it was like blue paint on his hands.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
that
cute.
That's
yeah.
cute.
But that was it. And then we just sent it to like our close friends and
Yeah.
family. But yeah.
Now, is it your first baby
Yeah.
too? Okay, so you're both in the same situation. Wow, and you're both due in September?
I'm doing November.
November, okay.
I'm gonna do it in September. Yeah.
So you got a few months. That's pretty amazing to
Yeah.
have 2 people
Mhm,
in the
it's
same
exciting, too.
group.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Did you do one, Jen?
Gender reveal, yes, I did. I did a budget-friendly gender reveal. Yeah, seriously, couldn't afford too much, but I went actually to, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a store in Plasto, New Hampshire called Savers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
went in there and found
Yeah.
these big old stuffed animals of like pink, like teddy bear
Yeah.
and elephant, and I said I couldn't kind of afford, like I kind of did like a social media, like
Oh, fun.
yeah.
Nice.
And I
Okay.
said I
Cool.
couldn't really
Fun.
afford one, but like I made it like funny,
Yeah.
and I said I couldn't really afford it, but guess what? It's a girl, and like did the pictures of me holding the elephant and the pink bear and all the different stuff,
That's cool.
and just kind of told all the family friends and just read the comments, and
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I called family and told everyone, and I was super excited. I also did something at work actually with all the other counselors. I brought like those little cigars, like the gum cigars.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
brought those, and I'm making a book for Eva's, like when she grows up.
Mhm.
And so I took pictures with all the counselors, and I said, like, this is where I work, this is what I was doing when I was pregnant with you.
Aw,
And we
how
all took a
nice.
picture, like, it's a girl.
Yeah,
And, yeah, so I did
that's
something at
cool.
work and social media, and, I told some family members as well.
Yeah.
And so,
that's
well, I
cool.
told everyone eventually, but no big cake or anything like that, but, I don't know, it was fun.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it was
wonderful.
different,
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So, yeah. And yeah, it was great though. I think the work was the best, and social media was fun because I had like all my old friends tell me like, oh, you're gonna have like a little best friend, and all their little comments about all the sweet stuff, and I was happy.
Awesome.
Actually, the
That's
most
cool.
happy
That's
I've been
great.
in so many
Yeah.
years. So yeah, having a baby is exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
Okay, so we talked, so Christine is helping you with your,
Yes, I know.
like, with
Thank
some
you so much.
resources, which is
Yes.
part of what is wonderful about group, when we can sort of share
Excellent.
things.
Thank you.
So
Look up the phone numbers after.
that'll help you. And so kind of, and you said you're the primary person that has to, but you live in New Hampshire.
Mhm.
So, and I know the New Hampshire, so what I would encourage you just is,
Thank you.
your employer, if you did choose not to go back, just so you know, you do have access to COBRA insurance. It's expensive, but they have to, you can continue your health insurance for 18 months. It's just something that I know because I was formerly in human resources. So by law, you pay for it. So you said you were paying $900. It's probably like, if they're paying 50% of your health care, then.
Oh, is
it's
that what Cobra
18.
does?
Well, you have to pay the full cost, so you'll
Oh,
have,
God.
so if you know what they're
Yeah, no.
contributing.
60%.
Okay, so then the other 40, so it's roughly 1,500 for,
No, I pay,
you pay 60, they're paying 40.
no, I pay 40, they pay 60.
Right, so it's an expensive policy, and then you add family to
Yeah,
that.
that's-
So, but
there's
one of
no
the
way.
things that I encourage you to look at is the New Hampshire version of Mass Health.
Yeah.
I found that it's much more affordable than most group policies because you're in a bigger group. So, and their open enrollment is always in December for January 1st.
Nice.
So that'll give you time while you're off, you'd be covered anyway, if the baby's due in September. And then the open enrollment period. So you hear a lot in the news about, what they're saying is they're just not advertising it anymore. So they act like they're getting rid of Obamacare and stuff. But when you get through all the noise, what they're just saying is they're not openly soliciting people to join the program. But the same thing, there's a toll-free number if you go on the New Hampshire website. And you could just talk to someone now and they could probably estimate what the cost was.
Okay.
And maybe that'll help you with the stress situation.
Good. That's a
You
huge
know,
stressor, yeah.
Yeah, health insurance is really complicated these days. So
Yeah,
that's a
it is.
huge, it's a huge stressor. So that, gives you some, opportunity to look at that as well. And then you're working full-time or?
Yeah, I work full time.
Okay, and then, but are you looking to try to switch jobs so you've got the same,
Yeah.
But you said, I
Well,
think you're on your
so it's
husband's
different for
benefit?
me. I think my leave from my job is like nine weeks or
Yep.
so. So, but I plan on just not returning. Like I'm just
Okay.
not gonna return. So I mean, I'm gonna have coverage for that
Right,
time.
yeah.
But then the plan is hopefully to have something lined up to
Right,
start.
so the
after
same thing,
that.
if your husband has insurance, you can switch to his plan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And if he doesn't, then you have that COBRA insurance, and you're in Massachusetts though, right?
Yeah,
So-
I
you
mean, I can always go through his.
Right,
So,
and so you have 30 days, just so you have 30 days from the qualifying event to switch insurance. So when you leave, you can switch to his.
Yeah.
When the baby's born. And then if there's an open enrollment period, a lot of companies, it's January anyway. So
Right.
So it'll be easier to switch to his when you leave the company, or you can wait if yours is cheaper till the end of
Right.
the thing. And then it is, I guess the other advice I'll give you, it's kind of a myth. Like if you tell an employer that you're planning not to return, it doesn't change anything. People act like, oh, I'm gonna get fired, or by law, they still owe you that, time off. So it's just
Oh.
nice if they can plan ahead.
That's good to know.
If you feel like, unless you feel
I
like,
still wouldn't say a word.
oh, really? See,
I wasn't planning on saying anything.
I guess I
so-
don't see being.
I don't
form-
trust any. I don't
Wait,
trust
you haven't
So-
told your work? What do you mean?
Well, you
But
can
I'm
just
not
say I'm
coming
coming
back.
back to work.
So they
but
think
if you're
I'm
not-
coming back,
Right.
but little do
Right.
they know.
There's
I'm
There's
not.
not,
I see what
they
you
can't
mean.
do
Oh.
anything while you're
Oh,
off
okay,
because you
okay.
could decide.
They could
Right.
lay you off before you go out on leave, though, couldn't they?
Well, it would be discriminatory, so
But I wouldn't
it
have
would be
proved
really.
that. That's why they wouldn't tell me. That's why they're laying me off.
Well, they'd have a really, whatever,
Find
we don't
some
need, it's fine.
bogus
Again, if you
reason
totally
to say.
don't trust your employer, but
No
that's
way.
fine, so that's, I guess
They're
that's-
so cheap.
That's another reason to, then it's fine, then that gives you another reason to
Yeah, I had
not.
to come back like a little bit, or, well, no, I had to come back as soon as,
Yeah,
I
what are
think
you?
like the
mine is
full
under
12
that
weeks.
branch.
Wait, isn't there a family, or is it, in Massachusetts, there's a family,
FMLA?
yes.
Yeah, everything, that's federal.
Oh, okay,
So it's
then
a
it's 12
federal
weeks,
law.
I thought, no? Some jobs are only 8
Yeah,
weeks.
you can get up to 8
You
weeks.
can-
Well,
Oh,
it's,
can't
she
you do
might.
Mine
parenting?
says 8, the
Okay.
paperwork said 8 weeks, I'm
Can't you
just
do
saying.
parenting
So I'll,
before? Parenting something?
I can help you guys with a little bit with that. So
Yeah.
it's 6 weeks for a normal childbirth, 8 weeks for a C-section is the medical part, if you have disability
Oh, that's what it is,
insurance.
yeah.
So if your company pays for you while you're out, they'll continue to give you that income, but you can take 12 weeks as protected, so you get 12 weeks off unpaid leave under the federal law.
Yep, yeah,
And the
because mine was
state law.
unpaid the last 4 weeks.
Right.
Mine will
Yeah.
be
So what was
unpaid.
your total?
So I had a total of 12 weeks, almost 8 of it because I worked really hard up until leaving, and I accrued time. Like
Yeah,
they
right,
paid me with my
right.
sick time
Right.
and like something called an extended leave bank, which is something I accrued from the prior years before that I worked there. And then the last 4 weeks, I ran out of time, and also they wouldn't, some reason they
Right.
wouldn't pay me last 4 weeks. Like they
Well,
said that
'cause
that
it's
was
not, 'cause-
bonding time.
Because
bonding
the,
time.
they're just doing it, I know it sounds crazy, but in insurance world, they treat pregnancy like any other illness.
Right, yeah.
So
Oh,
the
pre-existing, they said,
doctor-
pre-existing.
Well, no, it's the doctor says you can go return after a
Yeah.
normal child,
Yeah, that too.
after
that
6
too.
weeks, so it's the medical piece
But they
of
labeled
it.
mine as a
Not saying
pre-existing
that,
condition.
we're the only country, like,
crazy.
we're the only, whatever they call it, not third world country that doesn't have.
I
you
know, it's
But
crazy. Other
I know
ones
it
do.
doesn't help, but the good news is they changed that in 2021. Massachusetts will have paid leave.
Really?
It's a tax. Yeah, it's kind of been quiet. Nobody's really talking about it, but
Oh.
at beginning January of 2021,
Wow.
That's
they,
good to know.
unless,
Yeah, that is
I don't
great.
think they'll repeal it or anything. So Rhode Island has that. You just pay a little bit of insurance. You pay a
Yeah.
little bit of the thing. So that doesn't help you this time around.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be a payroll tax and it'll be covered.
Hmm.
So for just these kind of stressful
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah, it was really stressful.
So,
Yeah.
well, so Jen, as someone that kind of went through this, do you
Yes.
maybe have some advice for these guys as for,
Use every time you can, use all the time you can with your job. But if you're not returning, then there's a lot of all the people I work with, they didn't return either. I had to return, but
I mean, it's unfortunate when,
But I like my job. I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, why aren't you returning? Because
well, right now I'm doing ABA therapy, and that's
Okay.
definitely not what I want to continue to
Right,
do.
okay.
Because it's not really preparing me for what I want to do in the future.
right, okay. I understand.
But at the same time, I'm also debating doing like a third shift job
Okay.
so that I could be home with the baby during the day,
Okay.
and then my husband will take overnight, and just so that I can still bring in
Yeah.
an income.
Okay. Yeah.
An income. But
That's
then with
excellent.
that, there's still like, okay, I still need to make sure I'm getting my hours in for an internship.
Right.
And,
It's a lot.
you
Yeah.
know,
Well, in that
so,
sense. And you want to be done by May too. So, and what's the biggest like the insurance part? You mean?
I mean, no, I'm not worried about insurance.
Right.
I mean, it's
Just
it's
getting
a little bit
incoming
of
money?
everything. It's a little bit of everything because right now everything is on the table, and it's like I
Yeah. I know.
don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so it's just a
so
matter of
help me
like,
understand that
just
a little bit when
trying-
you say,
Internship.
when you say I don't know what's gonna happen, what?
Well, like as for starters, I don't have an internship as of yet.
Okay.
So, I definitely need to make sure I have something set
Right.
and ready for when I'm ready for January. Also, like, I may or may not have someone that can help with watching
Right.
the baby. So, like, that's another thing. If that falls through, I need a plan B.
Right.
And then it's just the whole income thing. Like, again, we have funds, but eventually those are going
Right.
to deplete. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's like, then making sure that I have a job. Either I'm going to go back to my current job or I'm going to need something to go back to just to supplement and be able to help, my family. So
Wow. Okay, so that's a lot.
it is.
So what, I always use it, so if you had a magic wand and things were the way you wanted them to be, what would that look like?
I'd win the lottery.
Well, with the current,
That would
So,
solve all my
right.
problems. I could, do an internship, not worry about,
That solve a lot.
pay for health insurance.
It does.
Realistically.
They still take a lot of taxes out of those, though.
I know, but hey, it would still help. I mean, just, not to be funny, but
Right.
realistically, I don't know. I just want everything to work out. Like, I just want it to be okay. Like, I want to be able to have time with the baby, be able to do my internship. Like, I just want everything to fall into place,
Okay.
you know, smoothly. And I know, like, I know it's gonna be stressful, that
Right.
stretch of like doing all that stuff. But like in my mind, I'm looking at the finish line. Like, it's gonna end eventually. You know, then I'll get to a point where I am doing a better job, and you know, I don't have to worry about, like, I'm done with the internship and things like that. You know what I mean? So like then all those other things that I've been stressing about will no longer be an issue. But it's just, you know, just getting to a point where everything will fall into place smoothly, and you know.
That's how I feel too. Like in a year, I feel like right now, like a year from right now, I feel like I will be so less stressed. I don't know
Yeah.
about anyone else, but a year from
Okay.
right now,
Yeah.
when things are
So,
said
but
and
then,
done,
Right.
so
then I'll just have a job.
right, but how do we, I guess what I'd like to do and then is how do you get where you can enjoy some of what is happening in your life now? Like you have a baby.
I'm learning a ton.
You have a baby, you have, you know, there is some joys in being pregnant. It doesn't happen
Mhm.
every day.
Yep.
You know, there is a joy of getting an internship and learning a new skill. So how do we get where the stress is, where you're enjoying, so, you know, you're at least meeting some people at school, like, you know, it's only gonna happen once. You're only gonna get your master's degree once. And so, you know, I guess I'd like you to think for a minute and step back. How do you get where it's not so overwhelming that you can't enjoy some of what's happening, you know, right here, right now?
For me, nobody said I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I just said it was very stressful.
Okay.
For me,
Well,
I'm enjoying
so
all
I'm
of
glad,
it.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you called me out on that. So joy
Yeah.
can be the wrong word.
Oh,
How
yeah.
do you get where you know, we can, where it's not so stressful, so you can maybe
It's
just
the stress.
take a,
I mean, I've just gotten to a point because I'm just like a natural born worrier. Like, I do that,
Okay.
you know, when it comes to a lot of things. But I've just learned in the past, from past experience, like, you just got to take it a day at a time.
okay.
And I mean, you know, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm still thinking about the future, but I'm just trying not to stress about it, because if I do, it's not going to help me. Tomorrow's not promised, you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
there's
right.
nothing that I could really do, you know, if I'm doing all that I can to solidify my
Right.
future and to see happiness or whatever it is that I want to see. I just, you know, there's really not much. If I'm doing what I need to do, then there's not much more that I could do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like just taking it a day at a time. And, you know, while I'm in that day at a time, you know, still making sure that I'm like doing what I have to do to make sure I can meet the deadline. So if that means, you know, meeting with classmates to get hours in or whatever the case is, doing all that stuff to prepare myself. But, you know, just taking it a day at a time, you know.
So can
Is the
any of
best
you
thing.
think of something maybe in their past where you were, you know, where you had a lot of competing priorities and you got it all done anyway, and what you might have done to do that?
This is the most busy, most stressed I've ever been in my life.
Okay.
And I can agree.
I mean, I obviously we all went for our undergrad,
Right.
you know, and that's why we're here. But I've never had this much going on at one time ever in my life. Like, the last year has just been out straight, and
Mhm.
it's. I function better when I'm busy as
Okay.
a person. So,
Yeah.
although I do enjoy, like, being with my classmates, and, you know, I am learning a lot, which is all well and good. I don't enjoy the immense time commitment because I still have to work full time. I still have responsibilities.
Right.
You know, I feel like when I have a day off, I don't want to see other people. Like, I want to hang out with my husband, go to the beach, do something like that. But then it's like, my grandmother's calling, and, you know, my family wants to have a cookout because I haven't seen them in 3 months. And it's like, how do you say no when, like, all you want is that day on the beach with, like, a silent cell phone? So that's what I do. I mean, I feel bad, but I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I'm doing something else today. Because
So do you feel like they
But it's
know
hard.
kind of what's going on?
they don't get it.
They don't.
No,
right.
they don't really
Okay.
get it. They just know that I'm busy with school, and they see that, like, one opportunity, and that's wonderful. They want to see us and see me and whatever. But I'm like, oh, leave me alone. You know?
Okay.
So I think just,
And do you feel like you're able to do that and not?
oh, I feel guilty.
You feel guilty? How about the rest of you? Is there anything you can help Christine with that?
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You're about to have a baby, and you're not going to have time to yourself, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah,
just
that's another
explain
thing.
it like that, you know,
Yeah,
hey, I
everyone's
just
gonna be
need
that.
this time, or, lines and you're doing schoolwork.
So I come from an Italian family
Yeah.
where everybody's like all over each other all the time, and I'm not like that. I can't stand it. If it were up to them, we'd be getting together for dinner like 3 times a week, pasta and meatballs, you know.
Okay.
So they're all very close knit. It's it's just my dad's side of the family. It's very small, and so they think nothing of dropping what they're doing to go help somebody take the trash out. I mean, it's like intense, right?
Yeah.
So it's like codependent and not healthy, but
Right.
But my grandmother's 93 and she's still living alone in a house. She still drives,
Yeah.
so she's doing well. But she needs assistance with things.
Right.
So yard work. She has an in-ground pool that needs tending to.
Yeah.
Since she's just been in the house for so long that's what's there. So it's. But then they guilt you if you don't go to the pool in the summer. I call it the guilt pool, okay? Because they put all this money into the chemicals
Right,
and whatnot to get
right.
the pool ready, and nobody uses it.
No.
Yeah.
When are you gonna come swimming? Why haven't you been swimming this summer? You know the pool's open, right?
And who tells you
No,
that?
it's just my grandmother.
your grandmother,
My,
yeah.
my aunts and
Right.
uncles that are like guiltily bringing hamburgers over there to cook on the grill, so
Right.
like somebody can put their feet in for 5
Right.
minutes.
Sounds sweet, though.
I mean, it is, right?
Right.
So like, dear old grandma, she's not gonna be here forever, and I love her to
Right.
death,
Right.
but it's just like I have a hard time. Like when I'm at this pace, it's like hard to slow down. Like I almost forget how to do that.
I agree. No relaxation here. I don't even know what relaxation means. I'm always high stress, got to do everything, worry, and.
And I'm
so
not
on.
really too much. I mean, I have some of that, but
Mhm.
at the same time, like I can ground myself by being organized.
It's excellent.
Like that's how I get through things and ground things. I like live by a calendar, live by a schedule. Well, my job, you live by a schedule book, right? On the hour, every hour.
Mhm.
But that's how I like manage my schedule with doctor's appointments, school, practicum, trying to set up an internship. It's like just. I feel like the program was relatively straightforward and easy. Not easy, but easy to manage
Yeah.
time-wise. And then you get to the practicum and you're like drowning.
You lose hours in that calendar, don't you? You lose
Oh,
hours.
yeah.
Like wait, where do I fit everything? Like you lose hours.
And then you look at the calendar and it's like, oh, my weekend I'll be in Sturbridge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in East Long. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like
Sunday I usually think it's my day off, and then somebody, oh, you want to meet today?
yeah,
Oh, sure,
right.
why
And then
not?
your whole weekend's gone. So it's just I think for me it's like, okay, I need to get through this next month.
Mhm.
Then I need to chill for a little bit after I deliver, and then I need to like. But before I do that, I need to make sure my internship is all set and all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Mhm.
And then
Go deliver a baby for you.
I'll go deliver a baby,
Oh,
and then I will hopefully regain some. Not that I'm going to get any rest, but regain some self-care and time and stuff.
So you have your internship set, you think? or-
Yeah, I just am making sure the affiliation agreement is all set. I have till
Okay.
January, but I do
Right.
get anxious about that
Right.
until like I said, till the T's are
Right,
crossed, it's all signed off
So,
and in place.
okay.
I'm gonna worry about it.
okay. And so, but you're in process, so you feel like that's going, I mean,
I think it's going
like
well. Yeah.
Is it a long process to do the affiliation thing?
No,
Okay,
it's just waiting on the employment place to
Mhm.
fill it out
Right.
and send it back.
okay,
Which I'm doing my internship at a place where I know the director because she was an intern at my job when she was getting
Right.
her master's.
yeah,
So that's great, but her strength is because she's managing and directing 2
Right.
programs. Her strength is not to hurry up and do
Right.
things. Like she's not going to answer any emails in a timely fashion. So it leaves me hanging, and then I get more anxious about it. So I need that document just signed
yeah,
and good and locked in, and then I'm going to be like, all right, we'll talk about it in November.
right, okay, so you're down to that. So, and then you have your
I
internship
have
set.
Sunday the 16th off, and wait, hold on, what's the 15, 16? I only have the Sunday before Monday off to start my internship. So literally the last, like we come on a Friday and Saturday
yeah.
to the practicum, and then literally I have Sunday off, and then my internship starts on a Monday.
And is that because it's a necessity that it starts that Monday, or just?
That's what I planned with the internship site.
Okay.
Was that Monday, like as soon as they said, when is your practicum
Right,
done, your first
okay.
internship, I said, Saturday, the September, whatever that day is,
Okay.
16 or is it
Yeah,
15, 16?
but,
Yeah.
so was there some openness in the hours, or is that what you prefer to do?
No, it's because I really, because this is, okay, me starting that Monday, literally, I would have to work 20 hours a week up until I think March or April. Then if I miss days, take a vacation, I'm sick, or if my daughter's sick,
Yeah.
or anything comes in between, it might go right up until the week before graduation, or I think May 18th or May something is when we.
30th.
You have till June 30th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
But I
what
thought
she had
we,
said, yeah.
if you want to walk and if you want to pick up
Nope,
your diploma
you-
that day,
Finish your hours.
You have till June 30th. You'll get your diploma, they'll just give you an incomplete. That's why you may just want to.
so I actually have been in school since September of 2014, and I've actually graduated from this school, and they did not let me pick up my diploma on the day I walked, and
Nowhere does. Nowhere does.
no, oh really? Well, they said like,
They
oh,
should
not
mail
my
it to
diploma.
you.
They didn't let me do something like, really? Well, wait. No, some people were allowed to go on the other side and do. If you were getting your diploma today, come on this side. And then some people that were.
Did you finish all the coursework?
Well, no, I had like 1 week left. I had
Right,
1 week
that's what-
left, so that I want to be like done and see you later this time.
You probably
I want
will
to be done.
because you're starting in
Well,
September.
if you
have-
do
I
the
know, but I
math,
have to
if
do
you-
like every single hour and like all this different stuff,
But-
and it just feels over.
We did too. We only have
Right.
5
I know.
months.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but no, the thing is though, is that you could probably work like extra hours. Like me, I have to work my job and that.
So do we.
Really?
But I thought you were just going to work part-time. And
It's
Right.
still 50 plus hours I equaled
How many
out.
hours are you doing for your internship? 'Cause
I'm 20 to
she wrote
25
it
a week.
down.
Right.
Well, if
So
you,
that's
okay, so
6
20
months.
times 30 weeks is 600. 20 times 30 weeks, right?
Right.
So that's 600.
Well, 26 weeks is 6 months.
So what does that bring us up to?
Well, you could start in
June 30th.
January.
If you finish June 30th.
Right.
Oh, well, I want to be done by the first week in May, the latest. I mean, this is all in my head planning, you know? And even I wrote it down and looked at it over and over and. Yeah,
Well,
it's a lot.
I'm just saying you may want to take, like, even if it was just a week, like, it's not going to change your deadline dramatically if you started the following week. Just saying.
Oh,
just a
yeah, no,
thought.
I might.
Do you
No,
know what
I
I'm saying?
think
Just
I
to give
could.
yourself
Well,
a little bit of a break before you start.
that would be excellent. So I'm actually going to take off. I'm actually going to put in for taking off. Yeah, see, I have to work all this out. I don't even know how that's going to work. I have a workshop in September. So it actually starts, okay, so my workshop for the internship doesn't start until September 25th. So technically, maybe I'll start that week.
Well,
But I
so
know
do
I'm
you
in
use
the book to
do
start
you
the
use
17th.
Do you
I think.
use a calendar? Like maybe if your calendar to
Yeah,
allow-
so I just, I use an appointment book, I use an
Yeah.
agenda, I use a calendar at the work now we just started. I'm using a lot of calendars, but I don't, to be honest, my mental calendar is like the best one that I'm finding helpful, because
Really?
everything, well, yeah.
Not mine.
Okay.
I
No.
need pen and paper.
Well, because
We're-
no, every time I go to the calendar, okay, the only thing that the calendar is good for is like scheduling. Like when I schedule my clients, I go to my appointment book and I'm like, okay. But things like change. What I do for work, I feel like things change at like the last minute, or people are canceling, people want to reschedule. I mean, it'll be 5 minutes and I'm right in front of the
Right.
client's house. I'm about to go in. They call me and they're like, this just happened the other day. This just happened like the other day. They called me on Wednesday and they said, oh, I'm going to do something else today. I can't meet today. So I'm over here driving away from my clients. So as much as I put it into 5 different calendars, it doesn't work out.
Do you guys have like a policy for stuff like
We
that?
do. Usually it's after 3 cancellations, but honestly, like this was a rescheduling. It wasn't like a cancellation.
I know,
And
but
they
to
can cancel that.
reschedule-
I
You
would
can do
count that.
like a written contract with them.
Yeah.
But I feel as though they don't take it as serious. Like they do, depending on the client and the client situation. Each client is like their situation is like you have to kind of individual. They're individual. You have to
Yeah.
look at everything before you just like close their case. You can't just close their case, even if it has been 3 times, unless, you know, you really have to look at it, each case is individual.
Right.
For this particular client, she's been reopened, and I don't see it like closing that easy. Even if she does reschedule and I'm right there, I could talk to my supervisor and see what she says. But for the most part, she needs it, and if she misses, you know, if she's there for like 5 out of 8 or 6 out of 8 sessions, then they're gonna probably say, you know, you need to keep going. You know, and so it's individual to each client, you know, depending on the situation.
Well, I know Justine's under a time constraint, so is there anything
Mhm.
you want to add before you leave us early today?
I mean, I guess on a positive note, the good thing is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So, I mean, yeah, we're dealing with all this stress right now, but I feel like, you know, months from now, we'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was dealing with all that stress, but you'll be at a better point. You know, you just have to make that be your mindset. Like, things will get better. And I think just, you know, thinking positive thoughts, you know, will help. Help you, you know,
Yeah.
realize that, you know, you're doing everything we're doing right now. It's a sacrifice, but it's for good. It's for good measures. It's for our children. It's for our, you know, our future of being able to work a better job and make more money or whatever. Like whatever it is, it's all, you know, sacrifice that's not going to go in vain. So
I think those are some really good points. Like, and I guess that's what I'd ask you, when you started on this journey, what made you decide that you wanted to get a degree?
I mean, because I had there's a big gap from when I graduated with my bachelor's. I mean, I just wanted something better. I wanted to be able to, you know, get a better job. I've always had this thing for like listening to people and wanting to help people. So when I found this program, I was like, oh, what better than to do this, you know? So I mean, eventually for me, the end goal is just being able to be in a job that I like, that I don't mind waking up to every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, allowing me to, you know, help people, because that's what I want to do.
Okay,
So,
so I'll let you depart, and then we'll catch up next time.
perfect. Thank you,
And
guys.
enjoy your
Bye, Justine.
your time.
Hi.
See you next week.
Yep, I'll talk to you
Right.
later.
Alright. Do you need help? You're all set?
I got it.
All right. So maybe that's a good question, is what made you decide, like, why did you, I mean, pursuing a master's degree is something, you know, a very, there's not a lot of people that do that. And so why did you get into this program? What was your thoughts?
I think for me, so I haven't had a lot of stability in my schooling years, if you will. So like I graduated high school, I thought I wanted to go to school for sports management and then to like work in a rec center. I wanted to like major in sports administration or management and then minor in early childhood to kind of like run a rec center, or I used to want to coach or, you know, do things, nothing in the big leagues, but just
No?
kids. And then I realized that it just really wasn't for me. I went away to school for a year. It wasn't for me. Then I went to a New Hampshire technical college for a semester to like figure things out. I went to so this is my fourth online school,
Okay.
online school. So
For
I've been
your
to
math, for,
well, from beginning to end, I've been to 6 schools.
okay.
So I got an associate's in child development
Yeah.
while I was working in a daycare, and I got a bachelor's in early education while I was still working in a daycare, and then I couldn't do it any longer. I just had enough.
Okay.
So I started working in early intervention, and a couple years into that, I realized that I loved working with the at-risk population. It was really my passion more than working with kids, and I really wanted to get into working with adults with significant mental health needs, substance abuse, things like that. So I have a coworker that was in this program at Bay Path, and she talked to me about it, and I just kind of went with it.
Okay.
And so here I am, graduating with a master's, and you know,
Okay.
I realized after working in early intervention for a couple years, and I've been there 5 years now, and I started school almost 3 years ago, so say it was like 2.5 years in, like I really couldn't do anything else. Like, to make the money that I make now is impossible without a master's degree, because
Okay.
the company doesn't pay me, it's Mass Health that pays me.
Right.
Therefore, if I wanted to go work somewhere else, I would take a serious, significant pay cut.
Okay.
And when you adapt to a certain lifestyle, it's almost like, how do you justify that? Do I just continue doing what I'm doing because I'm comfortable and I don't love it? I don't actually even really like it, but because I know what I'm doing and it's a guaranteed paycheck? Or do I take the time and effort and sacrifice, go back to school, and then have a degree for the rest of my life that I can utilize? Now, granted, I'm going to be paying for it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So it's pros and cons. I mean, my undergrad loans I paid off. I like hustled and
Right.
paid them off, and so now I'm going to sit here with a whole $50,000 probably
Right.
worth of debt, which
Yeah.
is, in the human service field, you're not going to make big bucks. So that's definitely, unless you're doing private practice, right? So there is opportunity, and the opportunity outweighs the expense or the time commitment or the sacrifice for sure, and that's kind of
So-
the way I looked at it.
What I think I hear you saying though is that getting a master's degree would open doors to do other
Opportunity.
things and
Yep, and that's worth it.
More income and everything, so it was worth it.
And I don't need to make a lot of money. I don't need to
Right.
be rich. I just need to be get by and have a cushion.
Yeah.
That's
I
something
agree.
that's really important to me.
So, but it sounds like you know what parts of the job that you like already.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. How about you, Jen? What made you pursue a degree?
Okay, so I graduated. I actually am one of those people that, I got my associates right after high school. I did go into the university and I got a whole bunch of credits at UMass Boston. I didn't actually finish then. I'd go back into the work field. I started working in psychology field, with clients over the past, I don't know how many years now. And so anyway, I went back to school to get my bachelor's, this school actually right here. And then right away, immediately, I wasn't gonna go for my master's. I went and took the court officer exam to do that, and that's not what I really wanted to do. And I got a job also working in residential out near Boston. I'd already done residential, but I continued working with female adolescents. The pay was horrible. And at some point at that job, they were treating me horrible, actually. And so one day I just went to the supervisor, my boss, and I told her I was resigning. I didn't write a letter. I didn't do any I just went, I just said, this is it. I went to her and I said, not I quit, but I'm resigning from residential and I'm done. I walked out of there, never looked back. Also, so I also, a couple weeks later, would start working in counseling. And then, let's see, how else did it work? Well, yeah, so how I ended up here today, I think I was planning actually, was I planning there? Yeah, so I was planning actually there to go to school, and they weren't really supporting me coming back to get my master's. So I waited in between getting my bachelor's and my master's 6 months or so. And it was because of the pay. I wasn't gonna make enough, and there was just no future. So there was no future really in anything. I didn't see a future. I saw a minimum wage job, not making any money. I just wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going.
Okay.
And with a bachelor's, you don't do anything today.
Okay.
Especially in psychology. So yeah.
So you both felt like you need a master's for future.
In today's
for
society,
future
I feel
options.
like
Yeah, you can't. I can't afford
well,
anything.
I guess it depends. I have some family members that work in business administration.
Oh, depending on the field.
Yeah, and they're
Uh-huh.
they have a bachelor's and they're making big money at BAE
Right.
Systems and
Right. Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
yeah, that's-
and
yeah,
it
different.
depends.
Mhm.
Old networking, right? My uncle's worked there for his whole
Right.
life, and so now my cousin works there, and there's an easy in. Her husband works there, so right, so they have every
So
other
in
Friday
mental
off. they
health,
have
though,
all
you don't
these-
get paid anything unless you have a graduate degree or higher.
can't do anything. Yeah.
Right, but both of you have chosen this as a career and.
Because
Yeah.
Because you-
Well, I feel like for me, this is what I know. This is what I've been working at for years, in mental health. And this will just be like, now I'm actually gonna get paid for what I'm doing. Before, like, I'm still living at the poverty level, as I was saying earlier,
Right.
like, I'm still living, so, you know, as much as I can love the job, I have to further my education to really, you know, take
Right.
care of myself.
But,
So,
so
you know,
both of you love what you're doing,
Yeah.
and not everybody can.
oh, and that's another reason to
Parts of
learn how to be a therapist. I mean, come back to school, you know, because I work with a therapist now, so,
Right.
you know, this has all been great, yeah.
Yeah, I don't love
Mhm.
my job, but so I don't love aspects of my job. Like I love the work I do with the parents and the families. I want the focus to
Right.
be on the adults.
Mhm.
Not
Okay.
on like, because you know I'm doing a lot of developmental work with kids, which is great. But you know there are sometimes where you spend a lot of time with the kid and not the family, and I would rather do more of the adult family work.
So that's great that you know what you want to do. So,
And I wanted
Can-
to learn deep mental health issues.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I wanted to do the clinical aspect, not work on skills and case management. And
okay.
even though case management I heard is like real big right now, it is. It's really
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
in the field. But
Yeah.
you know, I want to work on the real like mental health, like schizophrenia and bipolar, and like work on the deep like therapy or trauma issues, and working on those issues. You know, you can't do that with bachelors. You just have
Okay.
to learn
So
everything.
you both
on
have
it.
a, you know, you both made a conscious decision. It's not like you just fell into.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So,
No, yeah.
Oh,
what-
I thought for mine, like
Right.
every day and night, like trying to
Yeah.
figure out, before I actually made the decision. And then I found the clinical mental health counseling program, and I
Right.
said, I'm gonna go apply, and I was all
Okay.
excited. And
So what,
Mhm.
so, and like I said, you know, in talking, you know, it's been stressful. There's a light at the end of
It's
the
a
tunnel.
lot, but-
maybe what can we do to kind of get, to be a little more in the moment, and we all know it's going to end, school ends, you all have a goal, so, but I mean, it's still, that's 9-10 months away. And that's a lot to still continue to be under that stress and knowing that there's, so can you guys
Yeah.
think of anything that you can
True.
do to just kind of, you know, enjoy some of what's going on here and now instead of just focusing on,
So I did something
graduation.
just recently. I brought my daughter to the mall, and I just walked the mall, and
Yeah.
that was really like I felt great. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. That was
Good.
one of
Yeah.
my So that was one of my just like I actually, as much as I can't relax, like I felt really you know, really good about just walking her around the mall and talking to her, and it was just really like a nice time not to think about anything. However, I was uploading those videos too at the same time,
Right.
you know, to try to
Okay.
get my videos uploaded. But
so
yeah.
can you
But
think,
that was really nice. Time, yeah.
you know, something, when was the last time you just had fun or had a belly laugh or? And that might be hard. No, but you know what I'm saying, just really, you know,
Yeah.
just,
I mean, it's not that I don't do
Yeah.
fun things. Like last weekend, I went up to Lake Winnisquam in New
Yeah?
Hampshire and
Oh,
went
that's
out
great.
on a boat.
That's one of
Like
my
that was
favorite
That's
places. yeah.
fun, relaxing. We hung out
Yeah.
at the sandbar.
Yeah.
It's good.
All that stuff. Like, so I do things that I
Yeah.
want to do on off days.
Yeah.
They're just few and far between. So I just try to focus. Like, okay, when's my next like day off? No videos, no
Mm.
schoolwork.
So
like-
can you, so you're taking 2 classes, right?
Yeah.
So will you have less of the videos and stuff and you know, can you, when you said you're a planner, can you kind of see
Yeah,
where
I
that
can
comes
see it.
sooner
Well,
than?
and that's why, like, I've kind of worked my tail off the last month, so I can just get it done because I
Okay.
don't want it to linger.
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm all set. I don't want
You're-
it to linger.
so when will you kind of be done with,
Tomorrow.
and so and then what are you gonna do to celebrate that you're done?
I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't
Even
thought
the
of it.
cans and everything?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
I have to pass the cans.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I've done all the trainings.
That's excellent.
I've done.
so you've done all
That's
that,
good.
wow, so that's great, I mean, in a month, really, it's been a month.
Been doing this like around the clock. I feel
Yeah,
like
okay.
every
So
free
that's
second
fine.
I
So
get, I'm
that-
driving
okay.
somebody.
So it's
It's-
pregnancy
tomorrow-
hormones.
So tomorrow you'll be done,
Yeah, and then I have to go out to East Longmeadow for the next 3 Tuesdays, to complete my assessment hours for that class because I'm not going to be there the weekend of the 22nd because that's too close to my due date.
Okay, and you prefer to do that than take an incomplete or anything?
Yes, because
Okay.
that will push my graduation off for an entire year.
And you don't want, okay,
I'm not doing that.
okay.
And then I have one more class in Sturbridge at the end of August, and I'm done for the semester. As long as I get, I have to
Okay.
do all my
But so
assignments and things.
but like going to class, like will there be much more time that you have to spend outside of class? compared
Not
to what you
outside
do?
of class,
Okay.
no.
So
that'll
tomorrow
be-
you see the late, okay.
It'll be
so-
a great reprieve, yes.
So have you, and do you feel like you're getting, have you talked to your family about it or your spouse or?
Oh yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait. I'm counting
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I've been counting down.
Okay.
For a long time.
And have you planned any plans to have fun tomorrow night or Sunday or?
I don't know. I mean, there's not much I can do right now besides.
We'll just, maybe it would be worth, can you think of something when you were in your last trimester that you enjoyed doing?
I mean, I really enjoy food, but I have
Yeah.
diabetes, so I can't even enjoy
Oh,
food.
Okay.
So, gestational diabetes,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can't
I was
enjoy
just like
food.
looking forward to
I always enjoyed the
having a
swimming.
baby.
Yeah.
Mine was swimming, I needed to be.
Swimming?
like-
I love
Really?
swimming. Yeah, maybe I will go swimming at my in-laws. I don't know.
Your
Yeah, that
grandmother
sounds
has a
like-
pool.
The Guild pool. I might go in the
You
Guild
might go
pool.
in the guild, I just like that buoyancy.
Oh my God, it's great.
I just had a hot tub and I didn't turn it on, but it would just sit there, like,
Oh, that's nice.
Sink into it.
yeah, and just sit there like naked and just be like by myself. Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
still remember that hot tub.
That is
Like,
nice.
That was probably, yeah.
I delivered in February, so
Yeah.
well for me, I was just finishing up exams, but I mean finishing up those last exams and 10 days before the baby was due. Just enjoying the days like off, kind of.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Just
sleep.
I looked
Right.
forward
Yeah,
to,
okay.
I was just
Well, so that's
happy
great. So
expecting-
you're,
Sleep.
so tomorrow you're,
I'm gonna-
so do you feel
sleep in.
comfortable driving to Long Meadow? Because
I
that's a
know,
long
I know,
drive,
that's a
those
trip.
every Tuesday. Would your husband help you with that or anything, or?
You should go stay down there.
I mean,
How long
it's-
do you have to go for?
I don't like to
It's
sleep
just-
out.
Oh,
I
you,
have
you
It's just-
don't
phobia
like
of
It's like a
really
six-
hotel? No,
It's like a 6 to
Oh.
9 thing, right?
6 to 9:30.
really.
So I have to
Yeah.
leave my job in Lowell at 3.
Right, I know I did it a few times,
And
so.
then I drive it, and then I.
And you don't think there's a girlfriend or somebody that might help you with the drive, especially?
No, what are they
getting
gonna do?
back?
Sit around for 3.5
Well,
hours?
I'm just
I
saying
stayed
that,
the
you
night
know.
when we had classes out here.
No,
I
I'm
s-
not doing-
really?
Okay, but you don't think it would be worth asking somebody if they,
No, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I did too. Like, just you got to do what you got to
even
do.
like the last one, okay, you're good?
I mean, I don't want to, and I'm very
Right.
unhappy that I have to do that. But at this point, it's like I'm not really in this for what I want to do.
yeah,
Okay.
just finishing,
in the
seeing
moment,
the
like,
finishing line.
I'm in it for what I want to
Have
do.
you
down
asked the
the
school
road.
to make any accommodations
Yes.
and they won't, they
No.
can't do something here? They won't, okay. So what else
Charging
can,
a full battery.
huh?
Oh no. Oh gosh. Ugh.
Do we
Really?
want to stop for a second?
No.
Okay. Do we need a break for a minute just to stand up and?
I mean, I'm good. Do
You're
you?
good?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
So what else can we do that might help to be a little more, to help with the stress piece,
I know for me, I'm not going to be grounded or relaxed until this is completely 100% done. And I mean,
Yeah.
partially the videos, like the other assignments I can do on like a Sunday or
right,
random
okay.
Sunday, whatever. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
but you'll be done with the videos tomorrow, right?
Yes, I will
That's
really good.
feel
Wow.
100 pounds
Yeah.
later,
Okay.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you do like family ones or something at home, or did
Yeah.
you really just being with everyone? Oh, wow. Excellent. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been like around the
Great.
clock, like some week. Well, and I went to Sturbridge for a weekend, so that gave me
Okay.
like 6 hours.
And that was
Right.
that's good.
because I'm not coming here in September.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So this, because it's so close to the due date, and I'll probably deliver early, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm here working. Because I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I could
Right.
deliver
Just-
tomorrow,
yeah,
right?
right.
I
You
need
never
to
know.
just have this done.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
want to. I do not. I give you credit. I would not want to do this with an infant.
Oh, it's not easy.
No, but so,
But
do
you
you
just
feel
you
like
do what
you're
you got to do at the same time. Then.
getting
Make
to
it work.
some of the things that you can do when, some of the fun parts of being pregnant, you know, getting the baby's room ready.
Yeah, oh yeah, the
You
nesting
feel
type of,
the stuff you feel like
yeah, yeah,
you're, okay,
yeah, that's coming together.
That's good.
So.
okay.
That you can still find time to do all that. I know when I
Yeah,
took
it's
4
hard.
classes
I have-
last semester, it was like I didn't find any time.
I know, I did too, it was
Oh, my
unbelievable,
goodness, I didn't-
but
wow.
they were like, no, maybe you should take 2 or 3, I'm like, you're crazy, no.
I took
Okay.
4 because then, well, here I am now. Cause,
Right.
yeah. Well, I just figured, like, somebody told me at work, actually, that I worked with, she's like, you're not dead, you're just pregnant. So I said, okay. I mean, she's
I mean,
right,
I
you
feel
know?
that way too, if I feel good, which I have, like,
Yeah.
Right.
why am I gonna
Thankfully. So I
act like I'm on
yeah.
bed rest, you know what I
No.
mean? Like,
And
I
I've
don't,
yeah.
incorporated prayer into like my personal, like what I like believe in. Like I've just prayed every day, and like even through my pregnancy, like that was like what kept me like I think sane, is just praying that, you know, get me through, like keep working hard, like because I was scared at sometimes, like that, oh no, something's gonna go wrong, but my water didn't break until Valentine's Day, my due date, and I was just, I mean, you know, knock on wood, that doesn't always happen,
Right.
but my first baby, and it was the most difficult, delivering the baby that I've, you know, that was the most excruciating pain in my whole life. However,
I don't know if we want to share.
no, I don't. I don't. No, no.
My
and
son's
it was,
about
no,
to
it
go
was,
through.
she's
No, I'm
my
just
little
teasing.
miracle and
I'm
blessing and
just
everything
teasing.
in the
I'm
world.
just
Though it's
teasing.
worth. It's
Right.
all worth it. It's all worth
Right.
it. If I could do it all over again right now, I would. Because honestly, yeah, I would. I was so
So
happy.
can you think of anything as someone that you're sort
Yeah,
of
so
ahead?
okay, so
that you can think of
I
that-
don't know if I
that
feel ahead
you
though.
wish, well, meaning like you've already had a baby and you're
Yep.
still going to be in school, and so can you think of anything that I wish I knew? You know, advice.
I wish I knew advice.
You know, gee, I wish somebody had told
Wish
me.
I knew not to stress and not to worry. So don't worry. I mean, everything. Just try to, you know, talk to people. Just ask questions. That's what I found out. Ask questions if you, even though that sounds
you're
like
the pro at that.
yeah. Well, ask questions because I mean, it like will make you feel a little bit like less stressed, and you'll have a better idea. Even if nobody has an answer, just at least you asked, and or if they do have an answer, I don't know. Just it feels a little bit better. Just like, you know. Do I have any real advice though? Just take it day by day. I mean, you know, do the best you can. If you don't know something, do what we learned in school, research, and you know, don't overthink things. Like, I think it'll all be great. Just go to a group if you feel like this again.
So
did
did you have a group that you went to?
This one right here.
Oh, great.
And
Okay.
well, no.
So,
At the
but-
time.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, my friends or family or
Okay.
work, they were all very supportive of my pregnancy, and that really helped. I mean,
So we started today by saying we were having trouble coping with everything, trying to be more flexible, that, you know, being organized and just kind of that managing that overwhelming. So is there anything specific that, we talked a little bit about the medical care, and so you were able to give Jen some tips, and
yeah,
hopefully
thank you so
I
much.
gave
That was
you
really helpful.
a few tips. So
I
what
have
are
to look into
some,
all
what,
that.
so everything is big.
Except for the voucher part, I got that part done, but the other one.
So that's fine, keep going.
Yeah.
If, so what other, when we talk about everything, what's
Oh
like
yeah,
the
just
next
getting that all
chunk?
planned out too. Like when you come to do your internship, do you have your husband or your family or who's helping you for that? Like you said, you didn't have.
Childcare?
Yeah.
No.
Do you don't have a plan yet?
No.
Are you gonna look into like what I'm doing? Like maybe either have someone either come in or like go out or.
I'm not having
home?
anybody come in.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have a friend that's going out on disability, so she had a surgery that like went wrong, was malpractice, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
She just came back to work part time after being out for 6 months, but she has an appointment in September to hopefully get on disability because she's in a lot of pain.
Mhm.
Neck surgery, so she is going to care for her pending she's
Oh really?
like not working and is physically able to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, I'd have to pay for an in-home daycare or something. And I'm gonna pay her, obviously, but
Right.
like,
Mhm.
you know, I would feel more comfortable with her because I know her. I've
Yeah.
worked with her for
Yeah.
5 years. Like, she's
Okay.
in her 50s. She's got 3 kids of
That's
her
awesome.
own. She's a mother duck.
And that's what she's
She's willing to do it.
okay.
That's great.
So that's the plan. I don't know if it will work out. If not, I'm gonna have to find an in-home daycare.
So, and then you're gonna continue to try to work full-time and do your internship, or?
So I'm actually not planning on going back to my job
Right.
either, and
Okay.
I'm going to be working at my internship site. But yeah, I would have to basically do like two
So
different jobs.
Can you get a paid internship in these
Yeah.
things? So
It's fee for service.
okay, so you'll be able to do your intern hours and get some income coming in,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be less. I don't know what it will be.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be less than what I'm making now.
right,
But that's gonna be anyways, because I have 5 years of like raises. And,
right, and,
You
and
know.
then you're, and then you'll have the daycare expenses too, that,
And it's just the expenses of a child in general.
Right.
So it's definitely gonna be
Yeah.
a lifestyle change
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
you're of course no longer spending money on what you want, but
Yeah.
it's more of what your child needs, and that's okay. I can make I don't buy a lot. I'm not a big shopper anyway,
Right.
so. So
Oh, the
that's
one
fine.
thing
It's just-
I have advice for that, don't buy a lot of the baby clothes, because you go like, well, maybe you got a lot already, but you go through them like, and you don't, they grow right out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my, baby, she's grown out of everything, so like so fast. Maybe like the newborn clothes, she didn't barely wear, maybe like a week or something, and then she didn't even fit in them. Because she was, I did not 9 pound, 1.9 ounces
Yeah.
baby. Yeah, so she like did not fit into any of those newborn stuff, and so that's the one expense that I feel like you can buy a few things and everything, but you do laundry. Well, I mean, for me, just doing laundry and like I feel like the clothes are just they can get a little expensive, and you don't need them all. Maybe a few little.
that's
things,
really
you
good
know.
advice,
Yeah,
Jen.
that's the one
great,
thing that
'cause
I know.
I'm laughing because my baby was 10 pounds, 13 ounces. so
Really? Oh my goodness! Then you know what I'm talking about.
He started in 12-month clothes, so
Yep.
all of the baby shower stuff, all the diapers, none of it fit.
Oh,
I
and
had to give
the
everything
diapers
to
were
a
the
friend.
biggest
He
waste. Yep,
started
yep.
in 12-month
Yep.
clothes.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, my
So-
goodness, I can't
Yeah.
even imagine.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's really great. I would,
yeah.
because you said you're a planner and stuff, you might want to just not, like
Like my
don't
6-month
buy
old
too
is
much
in
ahead
9,
because
12. Yeah,
you just don't know how big the baby,
that's true.
and you just get tired of. It's easier to wash it than like. It's weird, but because I
Be
did, I
careful
went
of those
overboard
tags
with all
too.
the
Those
clothes.
tags with the little plastic.
Yeah.
You know those plastic pieces. Like I don't know about you, but remember the plastic? Like like you have to cut them and make sure they go in the trash because the baby can like swallow.
Oh, you mean just the
the
price tag
tags,
thing?
yeah, because I can't even believe how many they put on for like the little baby socks. They'll put like
Oh,
kind
I
of
know.
on there,
Yeah.
and that's
That's a really
scary
good- yeah.
because they could. I don't know if you just miss like. If you don't, if you just miss them, I was really worried that she was gonna like swallow or something. You have to be really careful that all those go in the trash. Because I found some stuff and I'm like, hello, the tag's still on here. Like everyone, be careful. Like get the not the tag, but that plastic
Right.
piece that goes to the tag.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's easy to rip off the tag and
I
not
mean,
the
I can't
plastic
believe how
pieces.
many they put on there. Oh my god, it's scary.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
So what are so when we talked about everything, so we talked a little bit about medical care. You guys both have your internship. What are some
Yes.
other things that are stressing you or that you could maybe give each other some advice on how to handle?
Well, I mean, just maybe like to find like a coping strategy. Like for me, I like to take drives, and I take the baby for a drive. That really is helpful.
Okay.
Or not stressing, but help to relieve
Yeah.
some of the stress for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
there's a lot of things stressing, but I feel like I just want to work on the coping part of this and managing it.
So I think you said earlier if we can try to get focused
Yeah,
on
organizing
today
it,
instead of, worrying about
Today,
what's going to happen, in May.
true, enjoying the
That-
moment.
Can we get
Yeah,
to
being present.
Yep,
be
being present.
working a little bit more on being present?
I like to do meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that is something that I don't regularly practice
Right.
because I forget.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
but I have in the past done a
Yeah.
lot of meditation, and even now I do some. And I like when I remember or when I notice I'm not present, I do try to do that. But really, it's just for me. It's just checking things off the list.
Okay.
Chugging away.
So would it be helpful to have the list like more kind of shorter than having, like
Yeah, I
smaller
try to-
bites on the list than, all the way to May?
Yeah, I do that class by class.
Okay.
Right, so like, okay,
week,
this class
right.
I need, this week I have a discussion, I need to do the initial, the
Right.
reply, and I like
Right.
check them off as I go, and then I
Okay.
shred it, like, see you later, we're
Excellent,
done.
that's good.
Okay.
But I live by lists,
Well, that's okay.
so I can't
That's your
remember a
way.
thing.
Right.
So,
That's fine if that works for you.
it does
That's
work.
great.
Yeah, it works.
That's great.
I mean, it's fine, it does what it serves its purpose, so to
Okay.
speak. Which is great. So that's just kind of how I use my phone calendar or a schedule book,
Okay.
something like that.
Oh, I've been texting myself, like reminders of stuff.
Oh,
Like, that's what I did earlier when I asked a question, I text the answer.
I know, you know what?
Did you notice?
My,
or what?
no,
What is
but
it?
my son, did that. He's
Okay,
the
yeah.
one, he's like, I won't remember, so he texts
Yep,
it
I
to
just-
himself.
Oh, that's fun.
Find my name in there and
Yeah.
text a little
He's
note.
the one that started me with that, or I send myself an
Yeah.
email.
Yep, or even that, yep, because I find like the notes, for some reason I'll go back to that text, because maybe I'm
Right.
always texting. I will not go to my little note, like the, jot notes in the phone, but I will go to my text. That's somewhere I always go. Do I go to the notes all the time? No, but I go to the text messages. So I just
If it
found,
works for you.
yeah, it works.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It works, and I always write like my scheduled clients down in my agenda appointment book. Now I have to write them in a work calendar because now like the intake coordinator wants to know everything and everyone else.
One of the things that I was thinking about, what you guys are saying, how about grade-wise? Are you worried that you have to have like a 4.0 or?
I'm
You do.
personally
Eh,
not.
no, I'm
So
not
are you-
worried about.
So you've been able to
grade.
balance
As
that?
long as I pass, I'm happy.
Okay, so
Yep.
you're, okay. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I think I worried about, doing my best, but now I just worry about just like understanding everything I'm doing and turning it in and just, on time. But I
Okay.
suppose the grade, like a letter grade, it is not the outcome. It's about knowing. what
okay,
I'm
well, so
talking
that's
about.
huge progress.
Yeah, so not-
to
not-
be
yeah.
on top of everything else saying I have to have it all.
But it's
top
nice to
notch.
get a good grade. It's
I mean,
nice to
I
get a
don't
good
get
grade.
upset if I get a 90 versus
Right.
a 95. Like, I don't
Okay.
care. I mean,
Okay.
as long as I pass with understanding and knowledge of
Right.
the material. If I,
Well, that's great
That's
that
all
you
I-
guys have that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Vision.
used to want to know why I didn't do well, but now it's not about, the grade, letter grade. It's
Okay.
about why, if I didn't get something right or I don't know something, I want to find out what to know and what to do.
So we're kind of coming to the end.
Mhm.
So why don't we think about what you're going to take away from today and what you want to have prepared for next week? Homework, things that you want to do differently when you walk out the door. So what are you going to do different when you leave here to help you kind of with that, that everything doesn't seem so big?
maybe I'll revise my lists. Like, what's my priority for? Like, maybe instead of having a long list, like you said, like I'll do something shorter for the next week as opposed to the next month.
Right. So just maybe looking at this
Condensing
week's.
it.
Do you think you could add some fun on your list?
Yeah.
So maybe add one thing that,
Maybe I'll go to the
Yeah.
beach on Sunday. Yeah.
all right,
Oh, but it's gonna rain.
Oh, is it?
who
Yeah.
knows, maybe it'll.
But
I'm
I'll
hoping
find
it'll-
something.
Awesome.
I'm
Okay.
happy as long as I'm not doing schoolwork
Right,
or work.
well, I'm really proud, I mean, that's amazing that you got this much work done in this short a time, so I hope you'll
Yeah,
take,
it's-
I hope you'll take that other time to enjoy the joy of becoming a new mom.
Thank you.
And do you know what you want to do different, or?
So maybe, yes, I'd like to take an hour of uninterrupted time
it's 90 minutes.
for,
Hour and a half.
60, 78, oh, I thought it was 9, I added wrong.
Yeah. That was so
Oh,
So what?
crap. Oh, I think she'll be all right, don't you?
No.
no.
Oh, all right,
So
sorry.
it's like
How?
60, 70,
So we
we
have
have 20
another friggin'
minutes.
20 minutes, another
Pause
10
that.
minutes.
Oh, no. This is part